Morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this is hitting your ear holes, I hope that it is good. This week's answer to where in the world is Big Sexy? The answer is San Diego.
Is that German for whale's vagina?
I think he said Spanish. Spanish for whale's vagina. I know there are some euphemisms and things in there that I am just letting pass by. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this whole conversation started with glass cunts, so where can we go from
Right.
there? Number one geography lesson podcast hosted by two gentlemen who are on opposite ends of the United States today.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Give us our accolades. Did you do anything? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day?
I have recognized St. Patrick's Day as an excuse for white people to get drunk in the middle of the day. When do you save numbers in your phone?
Immediately.
I am the opposite. I don't know what it is that is the triggering moment that gets me to actually save somebody's number in my phone, but it ain't right away, that's for sure.
I tell you what, I've been really proud of the shorts I've been making.
Hey, what's going on? What's that?
No, go ahead.
You just jumbled my jumble. Woo! One more episode to get this shit right. It ain't happening today. 79 will not, I repeat, not be the perfect episode.
Nope.
Woo! But yeah, this is Judge Mentalist coming at you with Big Sexy Digital Nomad. We're getting ready to get good at this. Maybe one day. Here's
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this is hitting your ear holes, I hope that it is good. Yeah, we're off to a great start.
I'm here. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a timeshare in San Diego, so I'm still kind of on vacation brain. I'm here with my godsons and my friend, their mom, and my wife celebrating her birthday. Yeah, like I realized, oh man, I gotta record an episode, and so now I'm in the bedroom. The kids are at the pool. Wife doing a training, and I'm trying to get the setup here, and it's not great. Like I'm looking here on the video, I got shadow in my face, and if I back up, it gets quiet. It's just a whole thing. But we're making it work. We're doing what it does. It doesn't what it do.
We've done worse. You remember that first episode?
I do. I listened to.
I don't mean the first episode that everybody heard.
No. You're talking about the one episode that will not see the light of day.
We might as well have not recorded it. Like,
yeah, true indeed. I'm sure we recorded. It was rough. Ooh, that was rough.
Well, I mean, the connections were terrible. Like, yeah. I don't even know if it was. Yeah, who knows?
The good news is we've had a lot of episodes since then that have been spectacular.
I agree.
Yeah, they have just been absolutely wonderful. And then some that are kind of starting off like this one. So, balance. There's balance in the podcast force.
That's the truth.
This week's answer to where in the world is Big Sexy? The answer is San Diego, like I mentioned. We're down here, again, celebrating birthday.
Is that German for whale's vagina?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's a good callback. That's a great callback. I believe it's German. Was it German? You say German for whale's vagina? No, Spanish. I think it's Spanish. I think he said Spanish. I don't know. Listeners of the Anchorman quote. What's the country of origin? We know the whale's vagina part. I mean, that's kind of the part you don't forget.
I googled it.
Spanish for whale's vagina.
I guess the San Diego would make more sense for
Spanish. The Spanish as opposed to German. Yeah. It's not. I don't know how to say that in German. I can't even fake it. Like it's too early for me. I just woke up maybe about an hour and a half ago or so, and then dealing with kids running around, getting ready to go to the pool. My brain ain't all together.
Speaking of German, there is this stand set up in the World Showcase Pavilion, the area of Epcot in Disney World, or in the the Disney
Yeah, Disney World. I mean,
planet
that's
in
accurate.
Florida.
Yeah, yeah.
In the Germany pavilion, and every time I see it, I swear that the name of this place is Glass Cunts. And I'm like, God damn, I hope they sell lube over there too. Because like it's not like in the main like if you were walking around the World Showcase,
Mm-hmm.
where if you start, there's two ways to start. Okay, from the big, well, three really, because you can enter in the back door, but
Like you do.
like you
Mm-hmm.
do sometimes, right? But if you're coming from regular entrance Epcot, you either go to the left starting with Mexico or go to the right starting with Canada and work your way around. So all of the main
I know there
stuff,
are some euphemisms and things in there that I am just letting pass by.
that's yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, this whole conversation started with glass cunts, so where can we go from
Right.
there? So
Right.
if you, let's say you start Mexico, so you go around the left,
Okay.
all of the main buildings are to your left.
Right.
But there's stuff that's in the middle and over to your right that are not part of the main area because there's a big pond in the middle. So glass cunts are right there in the, like, it kind of in the middle of the main thoroughfare. And I think that they just sell, like, I've never actually gone to this place.
You don't
I've
have a
never
picture of
approached
you
it.
standing next to it, pointing at the sign.
Maybe next time.
I mean,
Maybe
you got
next
to.
time.
You got to. You
With
got.
with
We have to get
I
you
think I
thinking in the
mentioned,
terms of content.
it's funny. In the last episode, I mentioned my wife's interest in collecting and trading Disney pins, and that we went to that event at the hotel that one day. And
Right.
I buried the fucking lead. I totally buried the lead on that event because there were probably 4 or 5 people throughout the course of the day that we were there that just emanated this just overwhelming scent of what could only be cat piss.
Ooh,
And it was so
that's not where I thought
overpowering.
that was going.
And they left a wake behind them. And like, it wasn't like, and there
Oh,
would
and
be
there's more
times
than
where
one. Oh.
more than one, or one person really making the rounds for the whole time that we were there. But I'm pretty sure that it was like 3, 4, 5-ish people. It just, all types, a whole room full of weirdos and norms and everywhere in between. Not that,
I'm sure
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
what
those pen
defines
collectors
normal.
are, cat over loving, nasty
There's a
home
fine
ownings.
line, I will say, a fine
Yeah,
line between collecting and hoarding.
correct.
And if
And it's
you
not that
clearly
fine
could
a line.
tell,
It's a pretty big fucking difference. You can tell usually the difference between a collector and a hoarder.
right, but
Yeah,
there's a there
they're in the same family.
they are islands in the same archipelago. Okay,
Correct.
they're not so distant cousins,
Right.
and you could
Islands in
tell.
the same archipelago.
I think that's what, like, isn't an archipelago like a group of islands?
We're gonna look that up because that's definitely gonna be the episode title.
um,
Yeah.
is it still going to be the
Actually,
episode
I'm not even gonna
title
look it up. I'm
if
just
that
gonna
reference is
type it out the way I think it's spelled, and that's just what it's gonna be.
that I know is a word, and I'm pretty sure that that's like a chain of islands or something.
We'll see
Sometimes
what.
called an island group or island chain is a chain, cluster, or collection of islands. Sometimes a sea
Okay,
containing a small number of scattered islands.
they're same island. They're different islands in the same archipelago. I like that.
Number one geography lesson podcast hosted by two gentlemen who are on opposite ends of the United States today.
Booyah!
Booyah.
Give us our accolades.
Trophy bitches.
Both
Trophy.
wearing green shirts
Yeah,
like it's St.
not planned.
Patrick's Day. No,
Not
not planned
planned.
at all. Yeah, today I am repping Rainbow Dreamcatcher, the Love podcast. You can catch that on the camera. There we go.
And
That's
I call this shirt a throwback because I acquired the shirt that I'm wearing when what it represents was merely a joke. But any day now, you're going to actually be able to go to this place online and make purchases. I am wearing one of the original Gershman's Magic Shop and Deli shirts.
oh nice.
And Gershman's is about to become a real thing. In fact, if you go to the website, it might only have like the coming soon, put your email address sort of thing in here. Yeah, that's where it is right now. I know for a fact that Uncle RJ is actively cataloging inventory, taking photos, because I'm sure I mentioned it on here at some point in time. There was a time after I returned from my initial hypnosis training where I
Mm-hmm.
packaged up like 11 or 12 boxes of stuff and like old magic stuff. You know, when you get into magic when you're new, you buy everything. Like, ooh, I
Right.
want to see what this is, and I'm interested in that. And there's no fucking chance I'll do it, but cha-ching. And I think that my journey with that was really conflated with the pandemic and lockdown, because then it was like I'm just going to buy something every day, or whatever. Like it was just because
The
what the
day
hell
that
else was I
consists
doing?
of scrolling through Amazon and the magic websites, and oh, that looks
It
cool. Let me order that. Boom.
I mean, look, you were either buying magic shit or you were playing Animal Crossing all day, right? Like that's what those 4 months
I
were.
think for me, I was definitely on the place. I was playing Spider Man,
Okay.
the video game on the PlayStation 4, and watching YouTube and listening to Hamilton. Like those are the three main activities that we did. I
Yeah.
mean, other activities as well, but mainly those were the three
Right.
ones that kind of passed the time during the day.
What a time. What a time.
Oh,
And we're
I mean, it's crazy how like the world seems not quite back to the way it used to be,
right.
but pretty close, and almost like that whole staying inside, wiping down your groceries, the growth of Instacart. I remember thinking how amazing Instacart was, and like I'm never going to the grocery store again. Man, the moment I could go back to the grocery store, I
The fuck
immediately went
you
back to
did.
the grocery store.
We
You
we
know,
are literally 4 years almost to the day of when 2 weeks to flatten the curve was supposed to be kind of near the
it
end.
was the thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're almost
In fact,
to the end of today, because the world shut down on the 13th of March.
I think most of the world did. It was the 17th or 18th that Vegas was like, get the fuck out of here, and
Right,
sent everybody home and shut down. Because I remember our town, Elkton, doing the traditional St. Patrick's Day celebration when it falls midweek. They
right,
usually do shit the weekend before. So I remember, being in that odd air. We all probably remember what I'm talking about when I say odd air,
right,
in a temporary tent that was behind this bar that my friends run, and we were literally sitting there. This was on the 14th. It would have been the Saturday, because that was a Friday the 13th year, by the way, or Friday the 13th month. It was either that Friday night or the Saturday morning that we were out there looking at flights to Vegas, being like, holy shit, we can fly round trip for less than $100. Why aren't we doing it? Well, it's a good
right.
thing we didn't pull the trigger on it, because our asses would have been sent home 2 days later, and that would have been a clusterfuck I wouldn't have wanted to deal with. I'm wondering, were any of our listeners visitors to Vegas at that precise moment where you were supposed to go home after they kicked everybody out and you got kicked out earlier? Because obviously you
Yeah.
were living there at the time. So
Yeah, I
you
was
were
living
just,
there. I know a couple of our other listeners were definitely living there. Um, yeah, listen,
but I'm curious about
if you were
tourists.
supposed to come to Vegas and couldn't, or if you were in Vegas and had to get the fuck out,
I want to specifically hear from
I want to hear
people
from
who
you.
had their trips cut short on whatever that was. I'm pretty sure it was the
Yeah,
18th was the day that they were like, you don't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Like,
right.
and it was almost me, because I'm totally the type of person, especially like when you're basically, because for $100 round trip, you're telling me you're giving me a free flight. You know what I mean?
Pretty much,
Like,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
that's dropping that's drop of waters in a nice sized bucket. Yeah, yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah,
So like that
but
was.
Speaking of that time frame, did you do anything? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day at all?
I have, for the longest time, recognized St. Patrick's Day as an excuse for white people to get drunk in the middle of the day and
Yeah,
open carry containers.
right. And the influx. Have you ever partaken in drinking the green beer?
Oh, absolutely. So compound this with the fact that in undergrad, and I'm sure I've mentioned this before because next week from the time of this recording, 2 days ago from the time of this launch, I did a fundraiser show for a chapter of the national fraternity that I was a member of in undergrad.
Okay.
That fraternity was founded on March 17th. I want to
Oh,
say 1906.
is it kind
So
of an
we were
Irish-based
always,
fraternity?
no, but it just
Okay.
happened to be the day that they signed the documents and it
Oh,
lined
got
up
it.
that day. Um, so I remember, I'm not going to use the term vividly remember, but I remember several times during undergrad at like 6 or 7 a.m. sitting on the parking lot of a bar with beers in hands, waiting for that bar to open on St. Patrick's Day. We were pre-gaming to just go drink. Like it
So
wasn't
you're
like we were
pre-gaming to definitely
pre-gaming or
game.
tailgating to go to like a sporting event. We were literally pre-gaming to go drink. Um, and it was, I remember one of these bars, I couldn't tell you the name of it to save my life. I mean, maybe I could, but it started out in the morning where like, I want to say the beers were like 10 cents and
Oh,
then they'd
damn.
go up, or maybe they were 25 cents or something. They were cheap.
Right,
And then
right.
every hour they would go up,
So
and
they
they would cap,
incentivize you to get you there early.
and they would cap at the normal price, but
Right,
they would incrementally go up by whatever that first. So if it started at a quarter, it would go to 50 cents, then 75 cents, then $1 or whatever. Like, again, I
right.
don't remember exactly what it was. Um, but yeah, those were some times that
Wow.
I will never use the word vivid and recollection back to back when describing St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
This year I spent St. Patrick's Day proper in Disney World and didn't drink a drop of alcohol at all. So,
Did you remember to wear your green?
oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I,
You're
I,
asking the guy who has a Leap Day William costume that he wears every 4 years if he remembered to wear green on St. Patrick's Day. Come on now.
fair, fair. I wore green accidentally. Uh, because again, I don't. I used to be big on St. Patrick's Day. Again, it was fun to celebrate with all my white friends. Pretend to be
Yeah,
Irish for a day. I'm not a big drinker anyhow. I mean, I used to be when I was younger, but uh, celebrating with them and then make sure I'm sporting my green and whatever. But this year, I even realized it. A friend came over, we hung out, we watched. I think the other day we watched Poor Things, bro. Poor Things is a weird fucking movie. It's a great movie. I enjoyed it. I loved it. But holy shit, I was not ready for the amount of sex in that movie. Like, have you heard about the movie? Did you aware of the movie? Did you?
I haven't, but you've piqued my interest now.
So it stars Emma Stone and Mark
Piqued my
Ruffalo
interest now.
and Christopher Walken. Not yeah,
Wait, they don't
yeah,
have sex with each other, do they?
not Christopher Walken and Emma Stone, but Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Emma Stone plays a okay, slightly spoiler alert just for anybody going to see Poor Things. This is a bit of a spoiler. It's kind of
How
the
new is
first
the movie? When
introductions.
was it released?
It's this year. I mean, this year, but it's already streaming. It's already
Okay.
streaming on Amazon Prime. So,
Listen,
uh,
fast forward to like
hold on a second.
22 if
So
you don't want to.
this, do we have? So I thought I didn't put up.
This isn't
So
Hey Buddy Nice podcast.
this is not.
Hey, buddy, nice podcast.
We don't have a bunch of sounds just ready to go, so I'll just do this one just here. All right. So now you've heard that sound. If you're still listening, spoiler alert, and I'll mark when the spoiler is done. So Emma Stone plays a woman who uh, commits suicide, and then her body is recovered by a mad scientist played by not Christopher Walken, Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Right. I keep going. Christopher Walken's not right. Who is it? Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe plays a mad scientist
They're the
who
same
then
person silhouetted.
they're pretty damn close, right? And puts an infant's brain in Emma Stone's body. So it is watching, and then the progression of aging happens rapidly because she's in a grown body. So it's really almost a Frankenstein monster situation where you're watching Emma Stone get older and grow uh, throughout this process, of course. But again, she has an infant's brain and is raised by a mad scientist who sees the world uh, in that black and white terminology, right? So everything is just an experiment. It's perspective. It's not. There isn't any emotion attached to it, and it's really interesting journey through that mindset where what's his name, Mark Ruffalo plays a cad who, again, remember Emma Stone, she's a fully grown woman, so plays a cad who wants to take advantage of this young inexperienced woman who he takes her away, and she goes, she's engaged but still goes to have this adventure and explore, and there is so much sex in this movie, so much. I mean, she eventually goes to, travels around the world, eventually ends up in France, becomes a whore. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I remember at one point in time going, because I had no idea what to expect. I knew Emma Stone was in it. I knew Mark Ruffalo was in it. I knew at some point in time she slaps him, because that's all I remember from the trailer. Right. And it's a dark comedy. It's pretty funny. But man, dude, and look, Emma Stone, I've always been anxious to see Emma Stone's titties, and do I tell you, the Oscars, because she did win the Oscar for this role.
Oh, okay.
The Oscars love it when their main actresses show boobies a lot, or have strong sex scenes. I think about it, like the people who've won, and I want to go back and do a deep dive and see how many, when actresses won for a role in a certain movie, did they have a sex scene in that movie? Because the same is not for the actors. Absolutely not the same for the actors.
Right.
But definitely for the actresses, I think of, and when people get, people who've been nominated a few times, when they finally get their accolade, it's usually for a role where they bare their body, not just their soul. And I really want to do a deep dive into that. I say a deep dive. I'm gonna look up a few instances and call it good. But but I want to check that out. I want to see if that's the case. But man, I tell you that. So that's what we did on St. Patrick's Day. I watched Emma Stone fuck a lot of people, which call it good.
I'll tell you what I did drink on St. Patrick's Day, something that I've never drank before, and any of the scoops that are listening will have an appreciation for this. We went to local grocery store. I don't know, the Friday maybe that we were there to get water and a couple other things, and they had Topo Chico.
Oh,
I had never seen it before. I had never drank it before, and it's and one thing that I do regularly drink, especially now that I'm not actively drinking right now. If I'm out at a drinking establishment, a saloon or a watering hole, if you will, I'll get a soda water with a lemon in it so that, I feel like I've got something bubbly going into me, and nobody really questions you because they just assume that you're drinking like a vodka tonic or something.
Oh, wait, before we continue. We're done with the spoilers.
Oh yeah, the spoiler alert's
That was a
over.
while ago. Okay, yeah.
So, normally what I'll buy like at home is I think it's San Pellegrino or something like that. I don't know, fucking green bottle with
Pellegrino,
whatever.
right?
Bubble
Yeah.
water. So I have that in the cart and we go about halfway down the aisle and I see Topo Chico there and I'm like, this is that shit they were talking about on ICS. Swap. It tastes exactly the same.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, it's just carbonated water.
It's a sparkling water. Any flavor, or is it just like?
No, just normal.
Oh, yeah, I'm good on that.
I'll drink that shit all day.
Yeah, enjoy. I can't do sparkling water. I think the carbonation makes it taste salty or bitter, and I can't do that. I can't. I don't really drink carbonation.
Please. Is this
Anything
the opportunity I've been waiting for? Yeah, go ahead.
I get back.
Oh, hey, let me call you back.
Carol?
Let me call you back.
Okay.
Whoops, that was a real call just from somebody whose number I didn't save.
That your mistress? Is that who that
No,
was?
no. Somebody from the company that does my law firm's website.
Okay.
But I don't. When do you save numbers in your phone?
Immediately. I say, look, I've gotten so bad on WhatsApp. Anybody who uses WhatsApp knows that if somebody texts, if you're in a group text and somebody messages you and they're not saved on your phone, WhatsApp put that little squiggly line in front of them. I don't even know what the name of that squiggly line is.
Tilde.
It's a tilde?
You, as somebody learning Spanish, should know that.
Tilde Swinton? Is that
you're talking about the thing that would normally be on top of the enye?
Yes.
Yes, that's a tilde.
Okay, look. I understand it. I can see it in the wild. Tell me what the name of it is, and I might remember. A tilde. Anyhow, they all have a tilde in front of it, and I didn't know the tilde till today. Anyhow, and
Fun with words.
I hate that so much that I touch their name, add to contacts, and save it just so that can go away. So I have a bunch of people in my contacts who I don't know. I've never met, but anytime they text something, their name doesn't have that little squiggly shit in front of it. So that's how I save names, save contacts. I usually do it like immediately. If I get somebody's phone number, I add it to contacts. I text them immediately so they have mine. I also have, like, I always make a message, a concerted effort to text them, hello, insert name here. This is Big Sexy. Talk to you soon.
So you at least have like a breadcrumb.
So I have a breadcrumb of who this, if I forget to save it, which occasionally happens because we've all discussed my memory here. It's not the greatest. Then I at least have an inkling of their name. And sometimes that'll jar my memory, but I try to save numbers as soon as possible, just so I can be sure to know who it is.
I am the opposite. I don't know what it is that is the triggering moment that gets me to actually save somebody's number in my phone. But it ain't right away, that's for sure. It takes quite a bit of time. Like, for example, the person who just called there, who I thought was going to be like a scam call that I was going to mess with. Nope. I'm trying to look through here and see what else I might have that is relevant. But like,
if you text somebody, do you save their number? Do you have like just a bunch of random phone numbers in your text chain?
I wouldn't say a bunch of random numbers, but I definitely have some. I mean, there is. So speaking of circling back to 4 years ago, my law firm had an intern who was a law student at the time. And that was a weird time because he started physically working here and then not. And it was basically like half an internship, but it was what the times afforded.
Right.
He's since been licensed to practice law. He got back on my radar because he's been practicing in Maryland for a number of years, is taking or has taken the Pennsylvania bar. and we're sitting, right on the border of Pennsylvania. So this makes sense. He went to law school in Drexel, which is in Philly. So all of this makes sense.
Right.
So as a former employer and being somebody who does an internship counts as an employer, I get a questionnaire to say, is this guy a shitbag, or should we let him into the bar, or her, if it's a her, obviously. So I knew that he was taking the PA bar, and he had actually reached out to me on LinkedIn to make sure that I was on the lookout for it and everything like that.
And to make sure you're going
I'm
to give
actually
them high marks.
I'm actually meeting him and another colleague Saturday evening, and there's a text chain in here with him and my colleague and myself, and his number's still not saved in my phone.
You still haven't saved his number in your phone.
And that's about 4 years. Now, if something happens as a result of our meeting, I'll probably save his number in my phone.
Are you the kind of person who remembers phone numbers? Like you see, like the first 3 digits or the last 4 digits, you're like, oh, you kind of have an idea of who that might be, or is it a crapshoot every time you answer the phone?
A little of both. I will tell you, when it comes to the context of text messages, there's always the scroll back context of who the fuck is this? If it's somebody that I haven't chatted with for a while.
If it stays in the text, so you also not the type to delete text messages, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
definitely not. Those are all in here.
Yeah, anytime I see, like, my wife likes to watch those court shows and whatever, and I remember when they talk about, it's 11:30. I remember when they talk about, looking at phone records, and they say, oh no, I deleted the text. I'm like, who the fuck deletes texts? I'm sure my memory on my phone will be phenomenal if I just went back and deleted all the old text messages that I have in here from, when you get a new phone and they transfer everything over, all them old text messages transfer over as well. I have text message in here from like probably 2019, 2018. I'm sure I have some old ass text. Every blue moon, I get a hair up my butt and I go through old text messages. Like, I'll delete all the spam ones, or when you have to get like the notification to input your verification code or whatever. I'll go back and like delete those. I'll delete old group text. I
don't delete any of that shit.
If old group texts also have new group texts and it's the same fucking group, I might delete the old one if I think about it. Sometimes I don't. So I'm like, oh no, I'll keep that because you might have something in it that I want to read down the line when I'm pooping or something. Yeah,
I'm looking through some stuff. So, like, as I've mentioned on an episode that hasn't aired yet, I am part of this large chain of, I want to say it's probably, actually, let me find that. That's the best example. I'm a member of this network of smaller NFL agents, right? And what happens is that we've got this big group text that has, and I'm checking right now, 23 people in it. So that's how many people are in this group.
That's a big group text.
And at the appropriate time of the year, which is November, December, January-ish, hey, we're looking at so-and-so. This is the deal. This is what it's going to cost. This is, what the split's going to be, who's in, type of thing, right?
Right.
There are, of the 23 people in this group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the 23 who I have their names and numbers actually stored in my phone. All of the rest are just phone numbers.
Ooh, that's the hotel room. All right, hang on tight, listeners. We're going to pause it right here and come back after this madness.
So yeah, there's 23 contacts that are in this group text for, quote, the network, which is what it's called on the phone. Because on an iPhone, when you set up a group text, somebody can label the name of it. Right. I have 14 of those numbers that are actually saved in my phone with a name.
So there's 23 people in the text.
Yeah.
In the group, and you have saved only 14.
Correct. Which means there's 9 folks in that little group, some of whom I invest with and have shares of the same player, I presume, who I don't know who they are.
These don't have that number. Yeah.
Or at least haven't connected the number to the name.
Right. Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. I'm the type of person in a group text, if a number comes up and I don't know it, I immediately ask, all right, whose number is this? I need to save. The other thing that drives me nuts is not having a avatar photo, a photo of whoever's number it is.
Right.
I'm the type of person who will get the person's name, go to Facebook or Instagram, stalk them, find a photo that I like, screenshot it, crop it, and pop it in in my address contact photo. So when their name pops up, because I'm also terrible with names, I also have a face with the name. So,
You were the kind of person back in the day who would have different ringtones for like 6 or 8 different people in your phone.
that's right.
Yeah.
I was a person who back in the day would purchase ringtones.
Yeah.
Back when you could buy ringtones on the good old fashioned flip phones. Oh yeah, I definitely bought my fair share of ringtones and then assigned those ringtones to people. If all my Prince friends had a Prince ringtone, all my friends I knew from the hip hop community usually had an Eminem ringtone. School would usually have like ringtone. Like wherever I knew these people from, that grouping had a ringtone. So that I knew that if my phone rang with this certain song, that somebody from my college calling me, a friend of mine from school, I should know this person. Cool. Now I know this person from. Because when you have as many social circles as I do, that shit can get confusing. Which Jessica are you? Right? Like just having the name Jessica. Oh no. Okay, shit. You're the Jessica that I met in Malaga. Okay, there. You're not the Jessica that is the Dutch that I know from Morrissey's in Malaga. You're the other Jesse who's a life coach, and yeah, that's the kind of life I live. You, on the other hand, were you ever the kind of guy to wait? So here, did you ever ask for a girl's phone number? Like, were you the kind of guy that get girls' numbers?
That now we're talking about a way in which a name and a number ends up in my phone. Because this is still the way that I do this today. And not in the context of picking people up, but just in the context of, I literally will open my phone to the contacts and hand it to somebody.
Yes.
And I have always done that. Like there's never been the, hey, tell me your number and then I'm going to type it down. It's always just been, here, go. And nowadays it's just shoot yourself a text.
Right. Well, yeah, I used to do that method, hand people my phone, tell them to type in their number, information or whatever, give it back, save it, and keep it moving, and then forget who the fuck they are. And if I can't remember the name, I can't find their number. And I know I have it in my contacts, but good luck remembering who the fuck that is.
Yeah, they're definitely from, I want to say 2021 or 2022, St. Patrick's Day. Let's just keep rehashing what St. Patrick's Day is to many people. The next day, waking up, looking through text messages and being like, who the fuck is whatever? And there was some name of somebody that no doubt I did fucking magic for in a bar that was like, dude, I need to get you to whatever. Here, give me your number.
Do you ever call the number?
No, fuck no. I don't give a shit.
Okay. I have been that guy. I have been the guy to go, I called the number like, hello? I don't know who you are. Who is this? This is Big Sexy. Who are you? Or yeah, hi, your number saved in my phone. Why?
Yeah.
And I'll deal with the embarrassment, bro. Like we hung out all night long. You were doing, oh right. I just forgot to save the name and number, and I woke up the next day and didn't remember who we were. Sorry, my memory is bad. I'm much easier to say I'm sorry, my memory is bad than sit and wonder who the fuck this is and let it go. But I'm also the kind of person who needs people, so I want to know who that person is continually and in my life. Now, question. Complete segue. Speaking of people and things you do on St. Patrick's Day, which is in March, and March is the same month that my wife's birthday is in, and we're celebrating her birthday in San Diego. Yesterday, we went to San Diego Zoo.
By the way, I think that your wife and SJ's birthday are a day apart, possibly on the same day.
I think so. Yeah, there are quite a few. I need to go through. I need to do one of the main things Facebook is still good for, is telling me when people's birthdays are. So I need to go in and see whose birthday is on the 20th. Be sure to send them a happy Pop from Mama Day message. Celebrate. But yeah, we were at the San Diego Zoo. Now, when's the last time you've been to a zoo?
Last time I've been to a zoo was probably Philly Zoo 6-7 years ago.
Okay, so wow, it had been a long minute since I had been to a zoo. And
I've been to the San Diego Zoo, but that was probably 20 years ago.
yeah, I forgot, one of the San Diego Zoo is huge. And zoos are awesome and sad.
Yes.
You know, I look at the creatures just laying out, sitting down, relaxing. Like I remember thinking, we went to the polar bear exhibit, and they got a couple polar bears in there, and it's like, man, I know you wish it was a lot colder right now. I know you do. I know you're not happy where you are right now. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad to be able to see something so wild and fierce, you know, behind a glass where I'm safe. But man, I know you wish you were out doing this shit in the wild and you've been domesticated. I know if you were actually in the wild, you'd probably get killed because you've been domesticated. And so that's not great. But still, it's amazing to see other creatures. We went with our godsons, so I can kind of, view it through them. They get to see these animals from around the world, which is nice. I understand the politics. Like I understand people who rail against zoos and who it's like people who get mad at museums. Like yeah, all this, be able to see this stuff is great, but it means you all stole it. You didn't find it, you stole it, and you took it away and you put it in this box and you make people pay to see it. Well, granted, we wouldn't see it if we otherwise. So I mean,
Right. Like that's kind of
understandable
that's a
culture.
little different there. I think slightly, but
Only in the sense that stuff is inanimate and these are live moving creatures.
right.
They need to be cared for and tended after and fed and all that kind of goodness, but still the same concept. We took these animals out their natural habitat, put them in a giant, landfill box so that we can walk through and marvel at the wonders of the world and the safety of our own area. But, I digress. We had a great time, is what I'm trying to say. We really did enjoy ourselves. It was a really long day. The kids had a wonderful time. It was really good to spend so much time with our grandsons. I keep saying grandson, godson. I kept saying grandson. It's just the G of it all. But our godsons, watch them run around and have a good time. And like all kids, they got excited about monkeys and the tigers and their favorite animals an oxycodal, which new to me. Okay, that's all right. That's your favorite animal. This is my first time ever hearing of one, but knock yourself out. There was a lot of that at the zoo, by the way. We were walking past the tapirs, and this guy right by the window looking at the table goes, "Man, this is the whole reason I spent all that money to come here today was this thing. The only reason the only reason you came to the San Diego Zoo was to see a fucking tapir? A tapir. A tapir. Like that's it. Like out of all the animals here, that's your number one? Okay." My friend LaVonne, my godson's parents, her favorite animal was the okapi. Oh, the okapi?
It's like half a zebra.
What? Okay. I mean, whatever, float your boat. To each their own. Good on you. Good on you for liking that stuff. But I did enjoy going. I wish we had done the guided tour. We didn't get the guided tour. By the time we got finished walking around, we decided we want to hop on a bus. We hopped on the kangaroo bus, which is just like an on and off, taking different parts of the park. They do, and while we're on that, we're like, we need to go home after this. We need to walk the dog and make our way to the exit, do the last little shopping for the boys, and then get in our cars, come home, and have dinner. So we missed out on the guided tour, which okay, well, if we ever go back again, at least we have something to look forward to and to do. I don't know when we'll go back to the San Diego Zoo, but you never know. My friend LaVonne has season passes, so she gets one every now and then. So we'll see what the timing works on that kind of stuff.
One of my favorite style of memes is, and I think that you could appreciate these memes regardless of what your belief system is God's thought process in creating animals. Like God creating bees. Put a needle on its butt. Come on. What? Make its puke delicious. God making pandas. God. Cow bears. Angel. What? God. Did I fucking stutter? Take a cow and make it a bear.
Those are the best.
Oh God. Because I'm on a page now.
I get
with
it.
like 50 of
You're
these.
going down a meme rabbit hole.
Yes. God creating a turkey. Make it like a shitty brown peacock. Anything else? Hang a nutsack on its face. Oh,
Ladies
good
and
Lord.
gentlemen, Judgmentalist is the type of person who will go down a meme rabbit hole.
I'll go down a meme rabbit hole. I'll go down a weird music video mashup rabbit hole like I did earlier today.
Right.
Oh, I found a gold mine. A gold mine. I sent you some
Yes.
of
Yes,
the
you did.
gold.
We'll throw some links in the description of the fun rabbit holes that Judgmentalist goes down. We have to get a drop. We have to get a drop
for.
like ICS. What is Judgmentalist watching?
Yeah, it could be. So what you need to look for this rabbit hole, it's called There I Ruined It. And I found it on Facebook. I've been led to believe that it exists on Instagram as well, probably other places. And what they do is they take songs or other types of things, and then they like mash up somebody else doing the audio to it, like the lyrics. Like there's one where it's like the disturbed lyrics over top of the music of the Golden Girls theme song, or the Apple Bottom Jeans lyrics to the tune of the Price is Right theme song. They did a deleted scene, because there's some video ones too. All of this is video, but there's some that are
Right.
like pure video. They did a deleted scene from Jurassic Park that was a Rickroll. So there's a ton in this. That one of them was the Red Hot Chili Peppers reading a grocery list.
Good. Thank you for giving me a thing to do, because I'm gonna take the boys down to the pool while my wife and their mother go to a pole class. They'll go pole. We'll go pool, and I'll be sitting there, and I'll need some rabbit holes on my cell phone to go down. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, you know how you told me not to play Monopoly Go?
Correct.
I did. I started playing Monopoly Go. Probably because
I knew
you
you
said
were going to listen to me. That was okay, because I'm
probably
still
because you said
hooked
don't
in.
do it. But the good news is I only started playing because I was on one of those pay you to play games website or whatever. Monopoly Go was one of them. And so I said, well, let me go ahead and see whatever and get to a certain level. And
get to a certain point, and then we'll give you.
Then you find out you got to get to a certain level in a certain time frame, and there's no way to really do it without spending money on the game. And I'm not spending money on this game. But what that led me to was another game in that same grouping on that same app called Merge Dragons. Have you heard of these merge games? Have you seen these merge games?
I think I'm not saying this to be embarrassing or anything, but I think my kids play the Merge Dragons game.
I'm sure they do,
one of them
because
does.
my godsons knew the game, and oh my God, if it doesn't speak to my type of disorder. If I don't really have a disorder, but I'm a little bit OCD, a little ADHD, and I like to collect things. And oh my God, if it doesn't satisfy, I could do this for hours. I can merge things into bigger things and move them around and put them in different sections on the grid, and I can order things around, and then I can play the game, and I can beat levels and grow levels, and I could buy bigger things and make bigger things. And so now I'm all about, if I do this, I can buy more things in game, not spending actual money, but
right.
in-game currency.
Oh, it's the same hoarding type of mentality, like collect all the shit when you go clear out a dungeon and then go sell it to get better stuff, that I apply to like Skyrim and games like that.
Right. Like I did on Watch Dogs. I realized I was playing, like I've already beat the game on Watch Dogs and all the storyline. I'm still playing the game because I can go in and out of cars, and every time you go in and out of a car, you loot the glove box. and eventually you can take all the stuff that you looted to a pawn shop and get money for it, and then you can get that money because I'm also a completionist. I get the money
Yeah.
and then I can go to the stores and I buy all the weaponry, or I want to buy all the cars and I want to get I have all the clothes, right? And I don't worry about the trophy. I'm not like our friend Brogan. I don't worry about trying to get all the trophies because that involves sometimes extra gameplay that I don't care about. But I definitely want all the things. And if a game has things, I want all the things. And Merge Dragons has a lot of things, and I want all the things. I was playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, and I eventually kind of got off that because you can collect heroes, and we play the game and start collecting heroes, and then kind of got convoluted. Again, to the part where you need to start spending money if you want to get these heroes, and I'm not spending money.
They always get to that point. Yes,
I'm not spending money. I'm sorry, you guys may get $1 or $2 out of me every now and then. You have some kind of special sale pack. Like that's Raid Shadow Legends gets me on that all the time. They'll have special packs. Oh, it's 200% value. Like, oh, I can't pass that up. Those are really good things to have. I can spend $2 and get a bunch of stuff right now. I can splurge on myself and spend $2 on a video game.
It's a weird dynamic, like the phone apps, tablet apps, in-game purchases compared to straight up fucking video games, because you will have budgeting aside, you and I both are the type of people who will generally have no reservation about, oh, such and such a game is out, I want it, go to the store. If you're buying it early, the initial price is $60.
Right.
99 cents on my phone, fuck you.
Right.
$60 $60 at this big box store all day.
Okie dokie.
99 cents. I don't know. What the fuck?
I just know and I think part of that is it's just a dangerous rabbit hole to get comfortable with.
Yes.
Because that 99 cent can turn into $150 because because you keep saying to yourself, oh, it's only 99 cents. Oh, it's only 99 cents. Oh, it's only 99 cents. And then suddenly,
exactly.
Suddenly you look at a credit card. How come there are 35 $2 charges? When did I spend $70 last week? I stay away from that because I know that once it's comfortable, it's gone.
Yep.
All right. Do we have any listener mail? I don't think we do.
Not that I have seen.
Actually, I think there's one that I'm just going to read. And the only reason I'm going to read it is because it's from our boy, Chris Lowry, over at the cruise. The cruise.
The new website.
My bags cruises.
You want to put the new website out there, right?
So I'm gonna do this as this is at, you know what, Christopher Lowry is a member of our Patreon. So shout out to Chris. Thank you very much for that. What I want to do, I'm going to shout this out just
and
because
an OG member, like he's been there since basically day one.
Right. And they have a wonderful travel agency.
He's been on the podcast.
He's been a guest on the podcast, and so I want to. They send this email, I'm sure, out to everybody, but out as a thank you for being a listener and a supporter of the podcast. I'm going to read this email. It says, "Hello, travelers. I hope you're enjoying the weekend and dreaming about your next vacation. We have some important news for you. Due to circumstances beyond our control, we are changing the website address for our cruise planners website. The new URL is www.gowithlisa.com. Lisa Lowry is his partner and co-partner. You know what I mean. If you have emails with links to the old website address, those links will not work at this time, and the home office is working to repoint all future links to the new site. Rest assured that we haven't gone anywhere. Lisa and I are here to provide the personal service you've come to expect from us, so please email or give us a call if you need anything. We are sorry for any inconvenience this has caused you, and we hope that you book your next vacation, and hope that when you book your next vacation, you choose to go with Lisa. Thank you, Chris and Lisa Lowry."
If anybody needs a more glowing endorsement, his number is saved in my phone.
See, there you go. That's how you know how important Chris is, and it's about to be in mine because he put his phone number here as well, and I have his email address, and I'm about to put it all in my contact list.
I actually have his personal number and his business, like from his main business, because this is kind of, I don't want to say a side hustle, because side hustle is wrong. To call their travel agency a side hustle is incorrect. And I think that what that is to them is very analogous to what hypnosis is to me. I want to get out eventually of the grind of my primary career.
Right.
He and his wife are both pharmacists primarily, and they want something more rewarding moving forward where they can, as they build this over time, okay, now we're just, one of them will probably jump ship at some point in time and just do the travel agent thing. And then as it continues to grow, because
Pun
it's very,
intended.
very much a relationship business, very, very much a residual business. Like you're not getting residuals, but you build up that client list, and so everybody's got like a schedule. Some people go on vacation every year. Some go every 2, every 3, every 5
Right.
years, whatever it is. And then my guess is that eventually they both jump ship, and then that becomes their full-time thing.
Nice. I know you keep saying jump ship, and they plan cruises.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah. Yeah. So shout out to Chris again. Thank you very much for that. And do we have, speaking of our Patreon folks, over at bullwiththebutthole.com, do you have that list of our subscribers? We'll go ahead and read
I
that today.
sure do.
All right.
Scoop Jesus is on that list, directly followed on the list by Jesus.
Angel.
I don't know. Estifix. I'm saying that wrong,
Aesthetics?
so I owe you another one, maybe.
If you're listeners, send us a pronunciation of the name.
Yeah, please. Galen Diggs, Jen, Tess, Joe Smith, Rainbow Dreamcatcher, The Love Podcast. Who can forget Billy from Cruise Habit? Go to cruisehabit.com/bigsexynomad. You're going to get some exclusive stuff. Everything on their website, I'm pretty sure, is free, other than obviously booking one of their group cruises. You got to pay for that. But the content, there's no paywalled content over there. There's no subscription. Right. Margaret White, Smitty Scoop, Angel, Bree, the aforementioned Chris Lowry, Michael McKenna, Lee Popsicle, Sebastian Robbins, and Joshua Tarr. And to clarify, we started the Patreon in late July, and Chris started his in early August. So basically from the very beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. Chris has been there from the beginning. So we thank you all to our Patreon. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate you over here. And again, you can just, if you want to support the podcast, go to bullwiththebutthole.com. And you can sign up there. You can join the community for free, or if you feel that the podcast is worth more than $0, sign up for one of our paid tiers and be a support of the podcast. We appreciate you. We are coming. Next episode is going to be live streamed. It'll be episode 80. We have promised to be perfect by episode 80. Well, we're not going to be perfect. But it's going to be damn good. It's going to be damn good. We're going to have a lot of fun. And, I've always said that the goal was to reach episode 80. Like when I made that number, that was early in our days. Early in the days. And I said, yeah, we'll be good by, episode 80. And here we are still plugging along when episode 80 is coming next episode. So that is a testament to our initial longevity. So now we just have to have another goal, which is great, and I'm always big on milestones. So stay tuned, and we'll probably make some milestone announcements from there.
2 things before you hit that. One is a call to action. If you have friends that are in an improv group, or you have an improv group that you are connected to that's near you, share the last episode with them. Okay. And here's what you can type into the message if you're sending it like via email or something like that. Hey, this podcast I listened to, I'm changing the words of what I sent out to a local improv troupe.
Gotcha.
This podcast I listened to, one of the hosts has a project he's working on right now that he wants to bring to production. It involves both improv performers and improv singers. They've discussed it on the most recent episode, which by the time you're hearing this won't be, but send them a link to episode 78. Wondering if you might be interested in getting involved in a production like this. Send episode 78 to improv groups and improv troops that you know. Also, one last creature as a gift to Brogan when you eventually listen to the end of this episode. This is God creating hyenas. So it's a cat dog with jaws of steel. Angel says sweet, but it laughs like Fran Drescher. And the angel says, what the fuck is wrong with you? That one goes out to Brogan.
That's a shout out to our Brogan, our friend over there.
Hey, buddy, nice podcast.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in and hanging out with us. And, do all the things. Hit us up on the social medias. We appreciate you all. See you guys next episode. It's going to be a live one. Be sure to tune in. Tell your friends. Tell your friends
to tune in.
Yeah. We're gonna. We got raffles. We're giving away a bunch of stuff. We got raffles for our listeners, raffles for our Patreon folks, and raffles for anybody who comes on the live stream. So be sure to get in and enjoy. We're gonna have a great time.
It's going to be almost as good as the Oktoberfest edition of Straight Outta Compton.
Exactly. Which is if you haven't heard that, Google it. Google it. You will not be disappointed. And in the meantime, safe travels.
Safe travels.